Welcome to another My Outlander Purgatory recap. This week, we continue our Season 5 coverage with a recap of Episode 509, Monsters and Heroes. Ready? Then pour yourself a wee dram, settle in, and let's do this. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
I'm Tracey.
I'm Carol.
And we are My
Outlander
Purgatory.
What?
Carol, how are you today? In week 247
awesome.
of Corona Apocalypse.
I don't know what you're talking about because I am having the best night.
Do tell.
With my I'm with my friend Santa.
Oh, you're on a first name basis now.
I have, you guys. I'm gonna admit something to you, and I'm doing this like they do on Love Island too. And screw it, I don't want to hear that you don't like Love Island because I love it. Okay, so we have to talk about that later.
Oh, I know. Well, no, I was gonna. Well, you're wearing earphones, right?
Oh yeah, you can say it.
So I can talk. Okay, let's ask this right off the bat. So tomorrow, so this weekend, Outlander night, actually. It is episode 509 of Outlander. But it is also Mop Keelan's birthday. So Carol, I made a suggestion to Carol. I was like, does Keelan like any celebrities? Because, you could get her a Cameo.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went on Cameo and I was like, oh, look, here, I don't watch Love Island, but here's all these Love Island people. And Carol flipped out. And I was like, here, what about this person? And, maybe you could mouth it into the camera in case they, like...
Let me see who's...
Or text it to me and I'll say.
Okay. Oops.
We'll explain that too. Go ahead. I can't hear you. No. Text me the name.
Mm-hmm.
Laura?
Anderson.
Laura Anderson. Like Laurie Anderson, but not nearly as musically inclined.
Laura. Fave from not only day one, second one. The minute we turned it on, we were in Scotland visiting relatives, and they were like, "Oh, Carol, you gotta see this!" Like they were like laughing, and we were watching this. Oh my god, so cool! We were like, and we come home, and we were like everyone else. We come home, we start watching this. We ended up, I've told the story
You told the story last week, so just tell.
Needless to say, we just started season 6, and we only like UK. I don't want to say we didn't like US. I'll watch it, because, at this point,
we talked about all this last week. Just tell the update.
Yeah.
Except you can't, really. Okay, I can.
You can.
I can.
You can.
So Carol is getting a cameo from this not Laurie Anderson person.
Done.
You got it already?
Yeah, that'll be yesterday. She's awesome.
All right. Well, maybe we can actually show it in this video.
Oh, we can.
Okay. All right.
As long as wait.
But you guys have to You have to wait. We'll put it at the end, so you have to watch the whole thing. And we are ready to go. We are ready to wait. If we did a cameo, would anybody like?
Tracy, I thought about that. Let's get on that site.
I know. I have to figure out.
I wonder how would anybody want that? Would you guys ever want?
Tell us
because you know what, you guys, we will oh my god. Well, that's the thing. They have not a script, but you kind of say who's who, what's what.
Right.
Oh my god, we're all over that.
Yeah.
We would have a girlfriend. You must have a girlfriend or a boyfriend who would think it was funny. Oh my god, Tracy and I.
All right, we're gonna see if we can get. I don't know if you have to be a certain amount of famous to be on Cameo, but given some of the people on Cameo, I'm kind of doubting it. But I don't know. I mean, we would be cheap. We'd be like $10 a cameo, whatever. It's like, have us talk in front of a camera. You can pay us. We'll pay you to do that.
No, we won't.
No, we won't. So Carol, why are you all blingy tonight?
Well, so my daughter is a senior in high school, and got the total short end of the stick this year.
As did all the seniors.
Because I'm sure everyone's sick of hearing about it. If you don't have a senior year, like, yeah, the poor damn seniors, whatever. But I'm going to tell you this. Imagine, look back on your life. So, please, guys, some of you are going to be like, I hated my senior year. But just, okay? Stay with me. Go with it. Bottom line is, if you liked school, imagine your senior year is gone. Imagine if you play a sport, bye-bye. Our third sister Jill's son, Chris, plays baseball. Bye. Gone. Imagine any of the fun senior year perks that come along that you've waited freshman year, sophomore year, junior year. You've waited your whole
How do you do senior cut day when you don't get to go to school?
And we have crazy stuff that they do, like fun stuff. We have this one thing where they all dress up in like camo and they run around town with Nerf guns and stuff. And it's crazy. I don't know if it's Nerf guns, whatever. So prom, obviously prom, graduation, gone. I need to just chill or else the waterworks will start. So
and you're saving those up for the recap.
Now, if that wasn't bad enough, because I'm sorry. Yeah. Am I going to whine? My kid already came into senior year having some issues. Okay. My kid came into senior year really sad. And so did a lot of other kids for various reasons. And so it was hard enough. And then, you got issues going on senior year, whatever. And now this. So it sucks. So John Krasinski, if anybody is a fan of The Office, I know a million different.
We've talked about this show. We talked about the SMG because I talked about when Hamilton was on a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
So we've already talked about it.
I said to Tracey a few weeks ago, and my friend Barb, I was like, I can't take it anymore. Where's the good news? No one can report any good news. Then I find out John Krasinski is doing a streaming what is it, like a Friday night show?
Friday night show, SMG.
He calls it SMG.
Or SNG.
No, SGN. Jeez, and I'm following you. Some good news. And he literally did his kids make that or something? He's got a poster board up behind him where he's probably in a blazer, a tie, and sweatpants like Tracey.
Because he gets up at the end and you see he's in like boxer shorts.
Yeah, well, I won't be doing that, but I'm instructed. And he does this show, and all it is he just wants to spread some good news.
Yes.
And I love it. So he felt bad for the seniors and is having a prom this evening. Unfortunately, I have two issues. Number one, Tracey and I are doing this tonight. And number two, my daughter was like, who? John? Who? And I was like, you are going to get to school. No. In fact, I'm going to tell her right now. She doesn't even realize that he's in her favorite movie. A Quiet Place is literally her favorite movie.
And he directed it too and wrote it.
Oh my God. I completely forgot to tell her this earlier when I was explaining to her who he was. Okay. Hang on, guys. You're with me on this text. I forgot to mention that John Krasinski wrote and directed
and starred
A Quiet Place and starred in it with his wife, period.
Bye. I think his prom is more for like us.
I think it is too. I said that to her because she's like, Mom, no one knows about this. No one said anything. I'm like, yeah, I think it's for adults. He's listening to Lady in Red in the promo. He's got a Lady in Red. And he's sitting here. And I'm like, that's it. I don't care. I am dressing up. You guys, I spent the last however long getting ready for this, although the hair is flopped. Thank you, no color. And listening to Duran Duran. Okay, my favorite band. I admit it. I've been having a Duran Duran dance party in my bathroom for the past hour. And it took me forever to get my face going and my hair ready because I kept stopping and doing this to Duran Duran.
Maybe we will check in on the prom at some point during this recap. We'll see what happens. We'll see if we can do it.
I think that possibly I needed to get myself really in a good mood so I could deal with tonight's episode.
Tonight's episode was just... We're doing this a day later. You guys know we normally do Thursdays. We had some issues with the screeners. They were all resolved, and everyone was very nice. So fine, whatever. but so we're doing this a little bit later. And so I feel like you didn't appreciate this episode as much as I should have, because I was so stressed out about me.
Right.
Because I was so stressed out about it. I was so stressed out about, like, are we going to see this? Am I going to get access?
Did you see? Once you watched, were you like, oh, that's why Carol was so psyched?
I got it. I got it.
I lived it. Only mine didn't end up as nice.
But you know what? And you probably didn't realize this. That episode, 509, maybe the most of any episode so far, right out of the book. Right out of the book. Because I went back to the book after I watched it again today, looked at everything. Like, literally the only things that were different was anything with Ian in it, because Ian wasn't back yet in the book when this happened.
I love him so much. I love him. Every time he comes on screen, I'm like, Ian.
I know. Do you think he's made a conscious decision, Ian, to keep the Indian shaved hair and this? Or
nope.
I thought he'd be letting it grow out a little bit. I kind of hope he does.
Not.
It's not. Oh, it's not a good look for him. See, now I want him to just have long hair, like long.
Yes, let it out of the ponytail. Let it free. Let it fly.
Like long, kind of just like, almost like Jamie hair. Just kind of like I know he uses a lot of that bear grease in the books.
We haven't seen any bear grease, have we?
I know, not yet. But anyway, so yeah, so you're drinking your Santa. I'm drinking some more Groupon wine. I just got a new order, as you know, from last week. This is the Capet Chardonnay. Again,
okay.
Pretty
bottles. Hang on. I have to put that up again. I have to move stuff over so I can see it. Oh, I love that.
It's very pretty. It's not the best Chardonnay in the world, but it's all right. And you pour it in a storm. And it's cold, so there you go. So yeah, it's Corona Apocalypse week 5, 6, whatever. Same old, same old. The big news today, because we want to talk about this a little bit too. So I don't know. So this is Friday, as we said. So I woke up this morning, and when I went on Twitter, I am seeing all this stuff about Sam. And, I'm so sorry this happened to you. I'm like, what's going on? What?
I am going to lose my shit.
So, and I actually closed my my browser so that because I have to just close every program on this computer that I have.
Was that the most heartfelt?
Just in case somebody didn't see it, okay, which I'm sure they all will, but
freaking ballistic on someone.
So Sam basically had on Instagram and Twitter posted, like, if you can picture an Instagram story, it was like 4 screens worth of typed stuff that basically said for the past 6 years he's been bullied online. I mean, I should find it and just read it, but find it yourselves. It's but from all sorts of things. People have accused him or have said he's, I don't even know, all sorts of things. And I don't know what set this off, but it must have been something really awful. And everybody's, people are always like, oh, he and Katrina should be like a real item, or, I guess he's had his family and his friends and, people that he's dated or been involved with, abused and harassed, death threats.
Why?
All of this stuff.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, people like ship the two of them. But it's all about how he's just gotten so. You know what I do know? I do know. Okay. So you and I do these videos, right?
Okay.
And I thought you were opening that already. Oh yeah. Oh, I can talk and she doesn't hear me. You're gonna get a cameo. You're gonna get a cameo. It's not from us, but it's equally good. Okay.
It's a proper fit. It's a proper fit for any of you Love Island fans.
Do you know what I mean, Kaylin? Your cameo is going to be just sensational. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? There'll be no pawing off. Right. They'll be cracking on all over the place.
So, oh my God, I don't even remember what I was. I know what I was going to say. So, okay, we do these videos.
See, you are just as ADHD as I am, and do not let anyone tell you you're not.
We do these videos, right? Okay, and we always say this because it's true. 99% of the time, 99.5% of the time, whether it's on Twitter or Facebook or YouTube or whatever, the comments that we get from everybody are so great. They're so lovely. Even when people disagree, you know, they might apologize or they say it's all about the work and the ideas. It's never or hardly ever personal. Okay. Once in a blue moon, someone
doesn't understand sarcasm and facetiousness.
Well, no, it's not even that.
Goodbye. Have fun.
It's not even that. It's just that somebody's a real dick. I don't want to say it. Okay. A lot of times I feel like it happens more on YouTube than anything else, but like, they're just a dick. They say, you know, you old ladies are yapping, and you know, or you know, like
then you're a loser for watching us.
I know. Well, whatever. But what I'm saying is, so in our very little world, we get this like, you know, I don't know, maybe we've had 10 comments, a dozen in the time we've been doing this. Whatever.
That's because we have like 20 viewers.
No, we have more than that. But now multiply that for Sam, and also multiply, like, you know, he gets all sorts of crap. He probably has people DMing him, which I would never in a bajillion years think about, like, DMing a celebrity. Like, what, that I don't know. I mean, why would I do? And I'll tell you another thing. Like, a lot, like, we, you know, a good amount, Sam, Graham McTavish, follow us on Twitter. So I could very easily be like a DM, like, to Sam, like, Sam, could you say hi to Carol? Or could you like do you know, send a video to Kaylin because it's her birthday?
Oh God, that would be so embarrassing.
Oh my God, I know. But I think it's more stuff.
Well, because people have blurred sense of reality. They don't have reality that tells them this is, you know, forget the whole celebrity thing or actor thing. This is somebody who has a job and is doing it. And just because they're in front of you on the TV screen does not give you some divine right to their life.
Right.
Creepy.
Right. You don't know them. They don't know you. They are on a TV show. And you know what? This whole idea of being obsessed with their personal life, or does he have a girlfriend? You know, where does he live? Like, that girlfriend of his, you know, like, if he does have a girlfriend, like, oh, she doesn't look like this or that, or I don't even know what people say. Like, you know what? You're not 14 and this isn't Tiger Beat. Like,
right.
Snap out of it.
So I did find the post, and I'm not going to read it, you know, because it's a lot of it. I'm not going to read all of it, but it says, after the past 6 years of constant bullying, harassment, stalking, and false narrative, I'm at a loss, upset, and hurt, and have to speak out. It's affecting my life, mental state, and is a daily concern. My co-stars, friends, family, myself, in fact, anyone I'm associated with, has been subjected to personal slurs, shaming, abuse, death threats, stalking, sharing of private information, and vile false narrative. I've never spoken about it because I believe in humanity and have always hoped these bullies would just go away. I can't elaborate. For ongoing legal reasons, but they're professionals, teachers, psychologists, adults who should know better. He's absolutely right. Recently, these false claims vary from me manipulating fans, being a closet homosexual, trying to mislead or extort fans for money, and disregarding COVID advice. I've done none of the above. I'm a normal guy and nothing like the characters I play. So then he goes into a little bit of detail about how I guess he was on vacation in Hawaii.
Yeah.
All of the
And he
COVID shit
stayed.
went down, and he stayed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And which is exactly the right thing to do, because
Right.
and he says this, do you really want, I really didn't feel like getting on like 3 to 5 airplanes, traveling for 20 hours to get home.
What's
and being stuck in a big city at home. Like,
is it because it's Hawaii and people think that he's like, what's the problem?
I have no idea. Because you know what?
I'm sorry, but you know what? Hawaii is one of the 50 United States. Like, just because it's
also,
beautiful.
Not for nothing, but it's not cheap in Hawaii either. And if you're stuck there for 3 months.
Stuck there. How would you like to be stuck there? Listen to me, I'm yelling at everyone. I'm so sorry. I'm pissed.
No, it's not. Now this costing him a pretty penny. This is one of the more, expensive quarantines in the world, I would think. But anyway, but point being, like, Carol and I have never been, we love the books Outlander and we love the show Outlander. And we've had, we've had the privilege, and I will say it is a privilege to meet these people. Like we've I would say, I don't even know if the first meeting with Sam is really more, it was less a meeting, a more like shoving Pocket Jamie in his hand and telling him to smile.
Oh yeah, we did that more than once, didn't we?
But the second time we really did meet him. We interviewed him on a red carpet. And when I tell you he was a love, right. Like he could not, both times, he could not have been more lovely. Loved Pocket Jamie.
Right. Right. Somebody who spent time with his fans. So why the hell are we giving him a hard time?
But
I don't really
understand. But besides that, and he followed us on Twitter like early on. So, which is not really nice, but like, we're not the kind of people who, I couldn't tell you I don't know where Sam lives. Does he live in Scotland? Does he live in Los Angeles? Does he live in London?
Oh.
I don't know.
Tracey, you asked me today, have you heard about the Sam stuff? I was like, no, like what? I've said this for years. I just don't, they're people. They have a job to do and they do.
We're not 14 and this isn't Tiger Beat. You know what?
And I think I just said as recently as last week that if all the actors were on this street and Diana Gabaldon was on this street, I'm going to watch Diana Gabaldon speak. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, they're reading from a script. They're very good at it, but what the hell?
Right.
Aren't Outlander fans a little too old for that? Like, who the hell?
That's what I just said.
It's creepy.
We're not 14. It is creepy,
Right.
But I can totally see, like, and I think he made the point that, like, it's a very, very small percentage, but obviously this small percentage is loud enough and obnoxious enough and dangerous enough to really warrant this reaction from him. So you know what? And Katrina actually, because like everybody came to his support on Twitter or whatever, Katrina had said what we say all the time. She's like, not for nothing, but like, if you don't like us, don't watch. And turn off the TV. Get off
on a very small scale. We can understand that.
We say the same thing all the time. Like, why are you? If you hate us so much, why did you take the time to watch what we do and actually like craft a response to it? Like,
right. And also, why don't you give a thought to the fact of what these people go through and what their lives are like before you like tear them down. Like that, I really, again, small scale, like, I don't even pay. Tracey and I laugh when we get negative stuff once in a while. And it's very rare. We're very lucky. It's so rare, but we read it and we go, did you see that comment about blah, blah, blah?
It depends. If it's a really nasty tweet and I'm in a bad mood, I'm going to retweet you with a comment and let the wolves come get you. We have awesome
just interject.
Wolves.
If you don't want to, if you think we're stupid, then don't watch. Your life is precious. Don't waste your time sending us negative comments because we don't care.
Right.
We don't care.
Right.
But this poor soul, he's a massive star.
Right.
So he must get like a small amount for him is a ton.
Right.
I can't even imagine what this man is going through to post that on Instagram, to go there.
Right.
I can't even imagine.
So anyway, this is just to say that any kind of abuse, any kind of online bullying, not just about Sam, but about any of the actors. If you'll notice, like if people are like, who's he dating or where does he live or whatever, we don't know and we don't answer those things. But any online bullying or abuse will not be tolerated. And we know that y'all who are in the mop world don't do that shit. But
no.
We have Tom. Tom. My God. What? I was gonna say we have Tom's back. I'm like, well, we do. That was really weird.
Wow, that was creepy.
We have Sam's back. You know, you F with Sam, you're gonna F with like mommy and mommy because we are mama bears that do not take kindly to our little like star cub getting bullied.
And in our Friday night 80s revival prom wear, I'm going to, well, this isn't really prom wear. This is more like Golden Girls wear, but I am going to say, you mess with the bull, you get the horn.
But you all, like I said, you guys all know that because everybody, the comments are so awesome, you guys. I can't even tell you like how much fun it is and how intriguing it is and how much you guys know that we did. Last week we were like, why is Bree talking about sweaters and jumpers? I didn't get it. Well, like a million people were like, duh, they call it a sweater in the US and jumpers in the UK. And Bree is saying like, Roger, if you don't open your big fat mouth and start talking, I'm going to teach Jem all the US words and you're not going to.
Oh my God, so funny.
Neither of us knew that. But everybody was like, came to our rescue and like gave us the scoop on that. People just have so many great ideas. There was a lot of controversy about last week's episode. So with the Keystone Cops, with the silent movie stuff. Some people loved it, some people hated it. Everybody said their opinion, but nobody like made fun of anybody. Nobody like dissed anybody else's opinion. I liked it because I don't care for it because, I disagree with you because, but everyone was extremely respectful. And extremely thoughtful in their comments, and we appreciate that so much. So we know, none of you guys that are watching us are bullying Sam. It's not happening. But for those who might be, or if you guys know people who are bullying him, tell them just shut the fuck up.
Tracy, that's not. Listen, if somebody's bullying him to that extent, this goes far beyond being like dumb. This is like crazy. And
well, I also wonder if it's a lot of like if I go like this once, it doesn't hurt, but if I do this 7 million times, like it's gonna start to sting a little bit.
Well, obviously they're affecting his everyday life. This is far beyond acting, and this is far beyond Outlander now, and they're picking on his family and his friends and his Lord knows who, and the poor guy has a freaking personal life that he is entitled to.
Right.
So, and I want to read something. So let's move on from this. I want to read something to you from my friend B.
We should probably start.
This is about Outlander.
We're at 36 minutes, and we have not started a recap yet.
Part of that is you cutting me out. So I just want to read something regarding a past episode. Lynchburg, Virginia to Asheboro, North Carolina by horse. This is my friend B, and she's so awesome. And she works in a museum, and she's, I don't know if she's a tour guide. B, fill me in again on your job. Anyway, Lord John says he brought little William to school in Lynchburg, Virginia. That is 125 miles from Asheboro, North Carolina, just as an illustration. Horse can go. Tracy, you with me?
Mm-hmm. A horse. I read this already. You sent it to me.
Oh, then never mind. Well, should I tell everybody? Horse can go 100 miles a day on good roads, so maybe 25 miles a day on not so good roads. 5 days isn't so unbelievable when you consider that Lord John gets to see Jamie at the end of his trip. In 1816, Jefferson rode from Monticello to his retreat at Poplar Forest, 93 miles in under 3 days in a carriage. It would have been a much quicker trip on horseback. So not so unrealistic that Lord John was bopping back and forth. What are you doing that's so important that you could not pay attention to me while I was just reading?
I already heard this. You've already told me that. You sent it to me. So I was just...
I know, but I wanted to tell the audience because last week you and I went back and forth about the horses.
So you told them. But I already knew because you already told me.
Well, still.
Okay. Let's get to it because we have a good episode. another bang up, like, awesome episode. This one is, like I said, like right from the book. Almost all of it. And because, yeah, there were a couple points where I was, this happened or that happened. And I went back to the book and read it. Yep, it did. It did. So let's get to it, shall we? So now you're not looking at me. You're not listening to me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. What is she doing?
What does it matter? You didn't tell me what you're doing. I'm not telling you what I'm doing.
What? I was deleting some emails.
I'm opening the episode. I do this every week. I follow along while you're talking so I don't get lost.
Okay. All right. Episode 509, Monsters and Heroes. The writer is Diana Gabaldon. I mean, Shayna Fuel. I think she's written one before. It really, for all intents and purposes, was Diana Gabaldon. And the director is Annie Griffin. I don't remember if she's directed before. We do have a lot of women directors this season. What do you think of that, Carol?
Awesome. I think women directors are great.
Okay. So our Easter egg is a big, fat buffalo turning its head to look at us. And it was sort of, I think it was the season 4 theme music. Was it the season 4 theme music? Sort of playing underneath it? Normally it just has the music, but it was the singing of Sing Me a Song of Alas That Is Gone. But that buffalo was sort of creepy looking at you like, yeah, you may or may not be a snack eater. So, okay. So we open.
Or you may not get booted right across the lawn. That was very odd.
That's really.
I was like, I'm sorry, the princess get booted right across the lawn.
She just gets up, like, yeah, whatever. I mean, she just got like headbutted by a buffalo.
That was one of those things I was like, that had to have been cut out, because how does my girl get booted across the lawn and no one even said anything?
Okay. All right. So Claire's checking out Marcelly. All looks good. She's almost due, another couple of weeks. And Marcelly is just so adorable because she's glad that Claire is going to be there, but not as a physician, but she's going to be there as her mom. And everyone was like,
oh yeah, that was nice.
All the feels, and it's a preview of how this episode is going to go down with all the feels. Okay, so it's
too much feels. I had too much feels.
It's a whole lot of feels.
That this is the only thing getting me through this week.
So they're all the ladies. It's indigo dyeing season, and they're just like basically taking all of the like linens and clothes they own and bringing them outside and dyeing them blue. Now I know must be a reason for this. I have not Googled it. I have not had time. That's what I depend on you guys to do. Please tell us.
B will tell us
why, because like jeans didn't exist at this point, right? Because it looked like they were like dyeing jeans too. But I don't think that they
just say jeans. And I know that jeans didn't exist.
Of course they didn't exist at this point. But like, why were they dyeing everything blue? Like, I really want to know this. Is it the color of the season? Is it the Pantone color of 1771?
Is it that all of our whites are finally so dingy that without Clorox, we're just going to dye them all blue and no one will know any better? Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So now we go to the cabin, and Roger and Bree are starting to get busy, but Jemmy is far too interested in what they're doing. Jemmy's like,
oh, I found this so uncomfortable.
Jemmy's like, hey there. And Bree and Roger are like,
I found the Jamie stuff uncomfortable.
Oh, the Jamie stuff was a little uncomfortable too, but Jemmy was just like, hi.
That was cute. But I really thought it was like really neat to see from Roger and Bree's perspective that Jamie's kind of like buttoned up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's Jamie Fraser. But like, it was great to see that they see him as, oops,
It totally reminded me of like why
wait,
Dad would never go up to the dorms when we were.
Totally. You guys, that was our dad. Like that was our da. So yeah.
Yeah, we would when we went to college, and I mean, I lived in a co-ed dorm too. Like, you know, it's not like it was all girls, whatever. But he would like not, you know, if he was coming to pick us up to take us home or whatever, not go up to the dorms. We'd have to come downstairs.
I don't remember that.
Oh, I do. Okay. So Jemmy's also learning some curse words. So that's good. That's always
shit.
The whole children learning the curse words is always a big funny thing.
Shit, Jemmy knows curse words.
So knock knock knock, it's Jamie. And he's in a hurry and they're like, just a sec. So Bree just goes to the door, wrapped in the towel, wrapped in the sheet, wrapped in the blanket, whatever. Doesn't she have like anything she could throw on? I guess not. So I think she wanted to shock him. I think she wanted to shock Da.
She's like, listen, Da, I'm a married woman now. I don't have to worry about you and your judgment.
Me and Roger do it, Da. Often. So
see your grandson over there? Where the hell do you think he came from?
Stephen Bonnet.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Stephen Bonnet being his father. Roger is his father.
Yes, well, we certainly hope so. Although, from the looks of him, I'm not really that certain yet because he looks the image of Stephen Bonnet. Okay. So game has been cited. And this seems really funny. So Jamie is like looking for good marksmen, and he's looking at Bree, and he looks at Roger a little bit, and he's looking at Bree again, and Bree's like, "Shoot, you know, I'd love to, but you know, it's indigo dying season, and quite frankly, I've been looking forward to that. But here's Roger, Doc, and Roger who can't like shoot, you know, something at 10 paces.
Oh my God. I was so uncomfortable with that. I was like, really? It's too soon. Too soon.
And so, yeah. And I was just like, I guess Bree was just doing that to sort of give Roger his due. Because quite frankly, I thought Bree would love to go out hunting with the boys.
Yeah,
I can't imagine she's all up in the, you know, indigo day. But anyway, she sends Roger off. And Jamie looks none too pleased about that, but he's like, yeah, all right, fine. So off they go, and it is they figure out it is a herd of buffalo. So they all sort of split up because all the buffalo, like this is actually in the book, which explains it a little bit. Because I was just like, oh my God, there's 20 buffalo out there. You guys can't you know, it seems like a pretty easy target. Why don't you just all shoot at one? And like,
right. What the hell happened there? There were 17 of them.
I know. But what it was that because it was an open field, they like I guess the way they would normally hunt is they'd try to get it cornered, and they couldn't really do that. Like if it was one animal in the woods, say, they would try to like get it so that it was trapped somewhere. Like
right.
Whereas in an open field, they couldn't do that. Like they would just stampede and like that would be it. So they had to all separate and kind of surround them a little bit. And also there were too many of them, and Jamie wanted them to separate so that the scent was like dissipated. Okay, fine. So Jamie, so he's like, you guys go there, and Roger and I will go here, and we'll all meet up back at the big house at dusk or whatever.
Right.
So how none of them shot a buffalo still? I mean, I'm thinking to myself, like, and granted, I'm sure it's that, like, you know, maybe they were too far away, and the rifle distance is not, you know, you can't shoot something that far away. But it didn't seem that hard.
I did not understand that one bit. Not one bit.
It didn't seem like it would be that hard. But you know what? They know more than we do, so I'm sure. I guess it wasn't. And in any case, nobody got anything. They got a good shot out, and they didn't hit anything. I'm thinking maybe the reach of the rifle is just not that much. It wasn't that far. Like you couldn't hit that far.
Well, you know, and Jamie shot and then looked at Roger, said, you know, okay, like whatever. And Roger was just sort of like, I can't do that.
Okay. So Roger and Jamie are walking around. Roger steps, so they see the field of buffalo. Yeah, Jamie shoots and misses, and I'm just like, how? Roger, I think this was before this, he stepped in a pile of shit, and they're like, okay, I know that there's 3 cows on the ridge, and none of them are around here, so that's, you know, something's around here. And that's where they saw the buffalo. So I think Jamie was reloading when he gets bitten by a snake. And it's like, ow, ow, ow. Roger takes one look at it. He's like, how he knew it was venomous, I don't know. Because, like, when you get bit by a snake, does it make, like, a little V mark to let you know if it's venomous? Do the bite marks, like, do they look like this if it's venomous? And this, like, in a smiley face if they're not? I don't know. But Roger's like, oh, yeah, bite marks. That's venomous. I'm going to have to cut it and suck out the poison.
Roger, was it me or did Roger seem really blasé about the whole thing? Oh, I had to suck out the poison.
Have to suck out the poison. Well, he's no Edward Cullen. It wasn't like, you know, it was pretty gross for him. It wasn't like something he was looking forward to. Or
Carlisle!
I suck the venom. No, I won't feel. Stop. I will.
Oh my God, I'm watching that tomorrow. You just made me realize I need to watch that.
That was all just gross. There were just so many gross shots in this episode. It wasn't even funny. But so he makes a cut. He starts sucking out the venom. I don't know, like, at what point, like how much do you have to suck out? Like,
well, that's the thing. Roger seemed to know.
He was
like, and then Jamie was like,
stop. Her blood is clean. You're killing her.
Da, da, da. You'll bleed me dry. They said.
Again, it was. And
I was like, all right.
Jamie was the Carlisle in that scenario. Jamie was the one that was like, Edward, stop. I mean, Roger, stop.
You'll kill her. You're killing her. Edward's like, duh.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, Edward.
They need Edward just around for when people get bitten by snakes.
Don't you think it's like sort of topical with the Spanish flu of 1918 and the quarantine of the coronavirus?
Oh, it so is. It's very topical. We should do a watch of Twilight and blog or video about that. I know.
If any of you guys are Twilight fans, which we're assuming you're not, let us know.
Oh, I think a lot of people are Twilight fans. Oh, and if you're not, we don't want to hear about it. So just
make Twilight videos too.
Okay.
All right, keep going because some people are hating on us right now. I'm sorry, guys.
Jamie can't walk, so Roger is going to go find the others. He picks up the snake head, just because I figured he was like, well, maybe Claire's going to need to know what kind of snake it was. So yeah. So we're back to Indigo dying, and somebody says it's a good day for dying, and I thought that was very meaningful. So Claire and Brianna are talking. Bree is feeling a little bit lost, Roger doesn't know what he wants to do, but Bree doesn't know what she wants to do. And we're talking about teaching, but...
I have to interrupt you for a minute. Don't you think that it's a little weird for Claire, who was a surgeon in the 1960s and had like such a career, to go back and be indigo dying?
I know. I know. I'm surprised she wasn't like, oh, I'm sorry, I have to go check on my penicillin.
How is she not bored AF right now?
Well, I mean, there's also, if you think of it the flip side, she spends so much time like tending to the wounds of the ridge that come in all sorts of shapes and gross sizes, that maybe indigo dyeing is actually a welcome respite for her.
Maybe it's a little therapeutic.
It's like, wait, no, gunshot wounds that I need to tend?
Yeah.
Woohoo! Bring on the blue jeans! Yeah, maybe why didn't she and Bree invent blue jeans?
forever in blue jeans.
Why
Get some
didn't,
Neil
like,
Diamond going.
during Indigo Dying Day? What if
Because
we took these? Marsley? What if we took these pants and put them in the dye?
Tracey, they don't want to mess with the future.
Then Brianna would be like, Mama, if you dye the jeans before the gold rush of 1849, it will never happen.
You heard me, Mama.
Oh, Brianna, we won't be changing the future by inventing blue jeans. Just think how good you'll look in a pair of skinny jeans. Don't you miss them? Mama, that's not the point. And in the 70s, it was bell bottoms. It wasn't skinny jeans. They weren't popular yet.
Gonna keep on. Bree's like, the only thing I miss is the Brady Bunch. When did the Brady Bunch start?
I know, and Greg was getting really hot when she left too.
Clowns never laughed before.
Oh my god!
Don't you mean, what was his name?
What
was Greg's name?
Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo. He fit the suit.
Oh my god, that was so funny, Mama. All right, keep going.
All right, okay. So yeah, they have a talk, and Claire's all like, "You'll figure it out. Don't worry. You'll use your engineering. You just have to figure out what to do." Great. Okay.
Yes.
So Roger's looking around.
Bree, can't you just go create an aqueduct somewhere?
So Roger's looking around. He can't find anything. He shoots off some warning shots. Nothing's going on. And then we're back to the Indigo. And I even wrote this down. Like, why are they dyeing everything blue? I don't understand. I don't understand the point.
Was
Please,
that in the book?
Explain it.
Was that in the book? Was that in the book?
I don't. You know what? I don't know. I don't remember. It might be. So I'll look and see, because maybe it is.
All right.
So, okay,
I think I need to be our research assistant.
I know. The hunters are back.
Keep talking.
They got nothing. The buffalo moved faster than they thought they did. For such big beasts, they're quite, graceful and speedy. So Claire's like, well, where are Jamie and Roger? Oh, we all split up and maybe they decided to make camp. Oh, yeah. Okay, fine. Whatever. So we're back with Roger and Jamie. Jamie's growing the snake because, they got to eat. He says he has pins and needles in his fingers and his lips are numb.
I was a little shocked at that. I was like, my man's dying on the ground again. He's cooking up a meal.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I guess what the snake deserved. I was wondering, like, is the snake, I guess the snake isn't venomous, like, in its body, because it just makes the venom, as we learn later, in, like, a sack or whatever. So you don't want to eat the venom sack.
You're skipping ahead.
You don't want to eat the venom sack, but the rest of the snake is all good. So the bite looks worse. I don't know whether it's because of, puncture wounds are bad. Like, they're very, very easy to get infected, which is why I'm guessing that a snake bite is probably very dangerous, even if it's not venomous, because the puncture wounds, like, a lot of dirt goes down in the punctures. Like, if you ever step on a nail or something, that's why you get, like, tetanus, or it's really bad. Like, it hardly bleeds, but you want it to bleed because that gets all the dirt and gunk out. Okay. So it's nightfall and Jamie's like, Roger, do you know how to do the last rites? And Roger's like, no, I don't need to. No. So Jamie's kind of like in and out of like a little more sane sometimes and a little less sane sometimes. But he tells Roger, he's like, I need to tell you some things. I need you, if I'm not around, I need you to kill Stephen Bonnet if I can't do it. And
that was awesome.
Roger's like, I don't know if I can do it. And we learn that Jamie feels guilty for letting Bonnet go when he had the chance to, to turn him in or whatever. And now, as he says to Roger, the son must pay for the sins of the father. This is a really good scene. It's a really good scene. Another standout episode for Sam. I don't know. I wonder if, like, I don't even want to speculate on what caused him to write that message, but does it have anything to do with this week's episode and the fact that he's like giving this really great performance and maybe people, I don't know, but he was fantastic in this episode. I feel like Sam is just having like when it gets to the Emmy, when he gets what episode he's going to submit for his Emmy reel, it's going to be like, Sam, there's like 8 of them. So I don't know which one to do because there's just so many good ones. And there's another one that's really good. So, so Jamie basically tells Roger what's going on with Stephen Bonnet, which is that he thinks that Stephen Bonnet is going to claim Jemmy as his own. That he will either have witnesses or produce witnesses that say that Bree went with him of her own free will. That in this time, I forget if Jamie says this or if Roger makes the point later that, I don't even remember what the point was, so it must have been later because I don't think I have it written down.
The point was that, excuse me, the point that Stephen Bonnet would come along and have all rights to the child.
Right. But because they weren't married. They weren't married. It does come later. Because they weren't married. They were handfast, but nobody was there to see it. So they weren't married. So Roger doesn't necessarily have a people will say that they saw Bree go with Stephen Bonnet as if to go sleep with him. And not forcefully. And it's kind of true. I mean, like, not like she went to sleep with him, but she went into his room to try to barter for the ring that she knew he had. So in other words, Jamie said, in this time, Stephen Bonnet could have a case for taking Jemmy. And Jamie is saying how there's a fine line between a monster and hero, hence the title of this episode. Okay.
Keep talking. I'll be back.
Okay. So the next morning, we're back at the Ridge, or we're back at the big house, and Jamie's horse shows up, and Ian sees it and is like, "What the hell?" This is where I was questioning a little about whether young Ian is going to keep his Indian look, his shaved sides and mohawk. I don't know. I don't know if he will or not. I kind of hope he doesn't, just because I kind of like him better with hair. But I would like to see him have his hair grow like a little more longer and unkempt a little bit. But it's just me. Okay, so then we see Roger, and he is dragging Jamie along on a trottoir. Jamie is kind of in and out of, if not consciousness, then awareness, maybe. And he says that if he dies, that they should all go back to the Stones because it's not safe. It's not safe for them here without Jamie to protect them. And he said, "Tell Claire I meant it." They say that in the book. It's at the end of a chapter. I'm not honestly sure. I don't remember if we ever. I mean, we probably sort of figure out what he meant. Do we know? Do it? I can't think of it offhand. Although, do we know?
I was trying to remember too, and I kind of feel like we do, but because I think the only thing we don't know is the ghost.
I kind of think that we do too. But you guys always know better, so tell us in the comments. So Roger starts praying, and all the men are looking for them. Roger hears them, but he can't. He's very Rose Dawson at this point. Come back. And so he starts banging on a tree, just like she has the whistle. He's got his little stick banging on the tree. And you hear, "Is there anybody out there?"
So true. So true.
Come on.
Let go, Jack. Yeah.
I was kind of like, why doesn't he just shoot his gun off again like he did before? But I don't know. But I guess it's more like, visually interesting to have him bang on a tray with a stick. In any case, it works. They find him. They get Jamie back to the house. So Claire is just looking at this, like she's looking at it very clinically. She's fascinated by this. She's like, I don't know. I've never seen this. The only time I've ever seen something like this is like when somebody invited me to go to like look at this person's autopsy. And Jamie's like, autopsy? And she's like, and I was like, oh, this is kind of ridiculous.
Did
right?
I say autopsy?
Did I say autopsy? Like, I was like, would Claire, Claire would like really do that. She does. It's right from the book. Right. She puts her foot in it right in the book too. Our Claire.
That nervous in the book because in the books usually she's like, oops, this is going to be a problem.
So she's like, okay, everybody go find, she gets Marcelly and she tells Marcelly to go get everyone to find maggots. Cause she's going to use the old maggots eat the bad flesh trick. So Jamie still has a sense of humor throughout all of this. So that's good. And everybody goes out looking for maggots. So they're in the surgery. They give Jamie some penicillin, like orally, but because, Dickwad from a couple weeks ago, Dickwad Brown stepped on the needle. They don't have a syringe to like, obviously, and it's true. Like if you have a really, really bad case of strep throat, when you go to the doctor, they're like, you're like, okay, so you're giving me your, go pick it up the prescription, right? And they're like, roll over. And they shoot you.
I've never had that.
Oh, you didn't? Yes.
No.
I was so sick one time, a long time
New Jersey?
ago. Yes. When I first moved to New Jersey, and I was all by myself. I mean, I had a roommate, but, I don't know where they were. And I finally went to the doctor because I was so sick. And they're like, yeah, you're getting a shot of penicillin. And I felt, but I'll tell you what, in 48 hours, I felt fine.
In your butt?
In my butt. Yes, because I started singing that Bon Jovi song. Shot to the butt, and you're in pain, honey. You live a bad name. Yes.
God, I don't think I ever knew that. I've never had a shot in my butt.
Yes, shot in my butt of penicillin. Yep. But in 48 hours, I said, I was fine.
Where's it going in your butt? Do they put it into a vein in your butt?
No, it's just like, it's if you swallow it, it has to go through like your intestine before it gets soaked into, your wherever it needs to go. Whereas that's what they were saying in the show, that like, okay.
But if they put it in your flesh, it's not going into a vein.
Right. But it's going wherever it needs to go sooner. And I don't think it was definitely in my butt. So clearly it was not
I would think it would have to get into a vein, but if they were just going to put it in a vein, they would have put it in your arm.
Right. Now it was in my butt, and I don't know.
Are you sure about this?
Positive. No, I actually remember it very vividly. I don't know. I don't know how it works. It's just like but that's what Claire was saying. Like she was saying injecting the penicillin. I mean, when she's injected penicillin in people before, she hasn't like put it in a vein. She like puts it in their arm or whatever.
Right.
It's like when you get a vaccine,
Right.
So anyway, he takes the penicillin orally. Later on, when we got the most disgusting thing of all time, did you text me something?
No, I didn't mean to.
Oh, I didn't mean to. No, when Claire,
I lost some stuff on my screen and I'm trying to get it back, and I probably hit something weird, but keep going. Look, like you could hit this.
I don't know. I'm not looking at that. Claire, later on in like arguably the most disgusting scene ever in Outlander, when she shoves that fang into that big gaping hole in his leg, I was like,
gross.
It couldn't have gone that deep. You couldn't just like pour the penicillin. Ew, that was really gross. I spit. You couldn't just pour the penicillin down into the wound. Like that wouldn't have worked just as good. But I guess not.
At one point, I was like, dude, Jenny would just pour some boiling water on it.
I know. Jenny would have saved that shit. She totally would have. She didn't have any penicillin, Claire. Okay. So, where are we? Yeah. So they give Jamie the penicillin, and, you know, I don't know if Claire's, like, talking to Marcelly or talking to Bree or whatever, but, like, you know, kind of a bonehead move to, like, leave the bone saw, like, sitting right there on the table. And she's like, you know, oh, no, we're not going to use this at all. Like, Jamie sees this bone saw, and he's like, and what did I catches the bone saw? So they're talking. He and Claire are talking a little bit, and he's like, you know, I know it's bad because you haven't given me any grief for any of this. And she's like, and so she half-heartedly attempts to give him some grief. Because he tries to steal the saw, and she's like, you know, look, if it's a choice between your leg and your life, he's like, no, there is no choice. You don't make that choice. It doesn't happen. And he makes her promise, although I don't know that she actually does, that if he's too out of it, that she won't take the leg. If he's too out of it to say no, she won't do it. So we're back to Roger and Bree digging for maggots, and Roger tells Bree the plan to help on it. And this is where they go into, like, the whole legality of it a little bit.
And Bree's like, I don't know. Like, I felt like there's a little bit of a sense of urgency here that you might want to pay attention to. Josiah, I don't know where Kezi was in all of this, but I love Josiah. Love.
Really? Since when?
Love.
Since when?
I just love him to pieces. The actor, I mean, he's just so good.
Him, you know, yeah, he's very good, but
And you know what I find sad is that Jamie, like, sees him as there's more of a kinship between Jamie and him than there is between Jamie and Roger. You know what I mean? Well, not now. Not after this episode.
I don't think now.
Not after this episode. But Jamie has such a respect for this kid because he's young and yet he knows his stuff about hunting.
Well, you know what? Clearly he didn't know that much because he didn't get himself a buffalo. So
true.
It took Claire to take out the buffalo. So
and the buffalo stance.
I love that song. Buffalo. Sucker. Buffalo. It's looking good today. It's looking good in every
way. No starky. You better watch. Don't mess with me. No money, man.
Can win my love. Anyway.
Wow, squirrel.
So Josiah finds the maggots, brings in the big house. And so Lizzie's like watching Jem and doing some things with the millions of blue things that are hanging up now. And it's a visitor. It's a buffalo. And he's in an unfriendly stance.
Crap, that scared the bejesus out of me.
Yeah, she turns around.
Were you like, oh my God, what would I do? Although, hi Lizzie, could you please tear yourself out of the Cindy Brady red light?
Here's the thing. Like,
and get the child that you're supposed to be watching.
Like, is it just me? And I'm sure they are dangerous, but like, I never really thought of a buffalo as that dangerous. Like, well, I'm trying to think
they are because my man pushed Bree across the front.
Well, but I mean, Bree was provoking him. Like, if Lizzie had it's not like a bear walked in, you know? I don't think that a buffalo is going to do the damage of a bear. I think a buffalo is, you know, is a buffalo a meat eater even? Or is it a vegisaurus?
That no more, dude. That's just a big old bear.
I didn't think a buffalo was particularly dangerous. I mean, unless it felt threatened.
Apparently, they are.
I guess maybe because Lizzie was like, wah! And you know, Jemmy is right there. So Bree is like, you know, wait, come get me, come attack me, here I am, woohoo! And Claire comes out with the gun. Bree gets butted across the.
It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I'm sorry. How Bree is not like, you know, that was like a cartoon butt kind of. was like Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, like how Bree is not either got like another, how we don't have 2 puncture wound victims in the surgery at this point, or
No
you
idea.
know, a snake bite and broken bones. But no, Bree just
At least a concussion.
right. But Claire's like, after all the men like totally couldn't, you know, get a shot in, Claire's just like, all right,
Yeah.
all right, I have work to do now.
Because Claire can do.
Oh,
If it's not about Claire,
it ain't there.
yeah.
Claire's like, must I do everything around here? Must I? I'm already trying to save his life, but now I need to kill a buffalo too. This never happened in the future.
Not even light a stove in the future.
So Claire gets the shotgun, boom.
Keep talking.
Gets it in one shot. Meanwhile, Jamie's like crawling out, like, the hell is going on? So he wants to know what went on, and so now they're in the next scene. I think it's the next scene. They're butchering the whole buffalo, whatever. So we're back at the surgery. They put the maggots on his leg. Roger says they're not bad. Oh, because Roger has done the maggot thing before. And he said it's not, it doesn't hurt, it just tickles a lot. And Jamie says he's a great comfort to him. So you can see that they're bonding like this, Roger and Jamie. So Claire's assessment is that Jamie's pretty much over the venom problems, but
Right.
he has a badass infection, and it's really bad, and they need to get the penicillin into his bloodstream. Jamie decides that he wants to sleep in his own bed, so Roger and Ian help him in. And Claire is just, she can't do it. She can't bear to think about amputating him. I thought it was kind of funny that, like, I expected them to get Jamie out of the surgery bed and bring him upstairs, but no, it seems as though Claire and Jamie have a first floor master suite. So all the rage, it seems, on, if you watch House Hunters, they all want the first floor master suite. Because then, you know, you're on the first floor and the kids are on the second floor and you don't have to deal with them so much. So they get him into bed. So I lost myself here. Oh, so they're talking about, like, basically, Jamie's talking about, like, she can't take my leg because then I'll be a big loser. And Ian's like, oh, like my dad? Like my da? Like that kind of a loser, huh? And Jamie's like, you know, didn't, like, whatever. And then Ian just, like, loses his shit. And he's like, you know, just because my da didn't have, was missing a leg doesn't mean that he's, you know, less of a man, Jamie. And you should know that, Uncle
I
Jamie.
loved that.
Jamie.
I loved it. Loved it.
It was very good. This whole part, like I said before, was the only part that wasn't really in the book because Ian's not back at this point. And I don't know, I mean, they might say something about old Ian and, you know, he had a great life even with just one leg. I don't really remember, but they make a big point to that. And they make a big point to Fergus as well. Like, you know, is Fergus half a man now because he only has a hand? And later on, when Fergus and Ian are talking, Fergus was like, well, yeah, I'm kind of a man of leisure now.
I had a very different perspective on this that I did not have years ago, but there's a real question of if your life is going to be severely altered and you're not going to be able to do the things that you love to do in life, I don't know, there's a line there.
Right. And that's what this was about a lot. So, yeah. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Are you eating again? You've been warned. I'm not even hungry. We had barbecue we had takeout barbecue today tonight, and it's delish. I know, it was really good.
That's a good
delivery
idea.
via DoorDash, I should say.
I did Grubhub. When I got yelled at last time, oh, speaking of, the pizza's still in the oven. When I got yelled at last time, I didn't get yelled at, but I was crunching and crunching and crunching on pretzels. So this is club crackers, multi-grain club crackers. These suckers, you put a little water in your mouth, they're like mush.
I'm not even hungry. So, although if somebody brought ice cream in here, I would not turn it down.
This is solely to soak in the wine that I have been drinking.
Okay. So, so Claire goes into surgery and Jamie's not there and someone has made the bed. That's why I was like, who made the bed? I guess maybe Mrs. Bug was in there tidying up once Jamie.
I thought the same thing. Oh, bed that he came out of it in the surgery, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was all like, it was comparable to like, you know, when the person who is like going to visit whoever in the hospital, goes in and like the bed's all made up with the person not in it. And they're like, wait, what happened to so-and-so? And you think they died, but they just got moved to another room or whatever.
Pat's R would say nary a wrinkle was in that bed. And I was sort of like, did they put fresh sheets on that bed, or is that something they wouldn't worry about in the 18th century?
So Jamie is in his own bed. Claire's like, what the hell is going on? He's like, I just want to be in my own bed. So then Fergus and Ian have a little conversation. Fergus actually has more than 2 lines in this episode. Ian doesn't want Fergus to go see Jamie because it might not be good for him because of this whole, like, you know, Jamie's prejudice against like people with missing limbs. And
I totally disagree with that statement that you just made.
What?
He is not prejudiced against people with missing limbs. He is uncomfortable with the fact of how his life is going to be if he is not able to do the things that he's always done because he is missing the limb.
Carol, remember the thing that you said before about like being sarcastic?
Yeah, but still, like that's I don't even know where that comes from, prejudice against people with missing limbs.
But he said, I mean, he wasn't prejudiced, but he said that's one reason Ian doesn't want Fergus to go up and see Jamie, because I mean, it could be as much that like he's afraid of what Jamie might say to Fergus. He's afraid of what Jamie might say, period, to make Fergus feel bad. He's afraid of what
you're going
Fergus
the opposite.
might say to Jamie.
He's afraid that Jamie's going to take one look at Fergus and be reminded of all the shit he's not going to be able to do and want to die even more. He's afraid that Jamie's going to go back to kill me now.
But Jamie wasn't saying that. Jamie wasn't saying, I mean, Jamie was saying that, like, if that should have to happen, I would rather die than have somebody take my leg.
Exactly. So
now.
he's going to take one look at Fergus and see that missing hand and be reminded of all the things Fergus can't do and realize, oh, holy shit, if my leg's gone, I'm not going to be able to do a million things. Yes, Claire, don't take my leg. Let me die. Ian's trying to keep him alive mentally.
I don't know. I think Ian was a little annoyed with him, very frankly.
Well, of course he was annoyed because he doesn't want him to die and he doesn't want him to, he's like, F you, my dad's fine, but ultimately he's trying to save his life.
I mean, of course, yes, he doesn't want him to die, but I think there's some attitude of Ian that's like, you know what, Uncle Jamie, shut the F up. You know, I'm tired of hearing this from you.
Do you think in this dire of a situation, Ian is sitting around pissed off at Jamie for insulting his dad?
No, I think it's not that. It's that It's the same thing. He doesn't want. He wants Jamie to stay. He wants Jamie to stay alive. If it means to amputate, then you amputate. But I think it's more like I think he is mad because he's mad at Jamie for thinking that it's better to die than be an amputee. I think he's angry about that. I think he is. I think he takes that as like a dumb thing for Jamie.
He takes offense for Jamie to say that without my leg, I'm going to be half a person. Absolutely. Right. But ultimately, he's trying to keep him alive. And he knows that if Fergus goes in there, Jamie's just going to be reminded of all the shit Fergus can't do and be like, here we go again. Jamie doesn't want to live without a limb. He doesn't want to bring it back. So he's like, you know what? You stay there. And let's, for now, Fergus, you don't come in.
I'll have to watch that again. I'll have to watch it. I mean, I think it's probably a whole lot of both. It's not just one thing or the other.
I don't think that Ian is worried about Jamie might offend Fergus at this point.
No. I don't know. I'll watch it again. Don't forget, I only really watched it once. That's all I'll say about that. Okay, where are we? I was just glad that Fergus had lines. Yeah, because that's then they have the whole man of leisure speech where Fergus said, I guess I'm going to be a man of leisure now, like, my lord, you're going to need to take care of me or whatever. And now he's, maybe will be a man of leisure too, whatever. I don't know. Okay. In any case, it was nice for him to have lines. So Jamie, so it's nighttime and Claire's getting ready for bed and Jamie wants Claire next to him. Claire thinks he's dying. He's like, I want you to touch me, Claire. She throws off all her clothes, gets on top of him, looks to me like she, gets a little bit.
Is like trying to hop on pop.
Which actually does happen in the book. And like kind of keeps him alive that way. Instead of the crash cart, Claire has her own little way of doing the crash cart. So the next morning, Jamie is in a little bit better spirits. He's like, Claire, you can take my leg. Because I had an epiphany in the night. Because he, went right up to, I don't think it was the light, but he sort of was seeing the light and then decided, no, I'm going to back away because, I have to take care of everybody. Like, you guys, everybody needs me, whatever. And that might be, he might have said that in the book and not the show. I kind of forget because I just read that part of the book. And so did you have any thoughts on that?
This is all very hard for me too. If you'll notice, I'm really not.
Right.
Not that I'm not taking it seriously, but there were a few times that I looked at Claire and thought, poor you. So, I'm really not,
as long as you can
I appreciate you asking me my opinion, but this whole episode was a wash for me.
A wash meaning like you didn't need to wash your eyes after it was done?
Meaning once you've dealt with hospice for 8 days and you know how this ends up, you're like,
it's all good. We could get to better stuff now.
I could dig way deeper into the leg being gone possibility and do I want to live like this, and I could dig way deeper into that from experience of how one's life can be altered from something being removed, and no one needs me pontificating at this point, so let's just move on.
Okay. All All right, so then we see Bree and Roger. Roger's like, I don't even know why I took the snake, and he's all ready to throw it in the fire, but Bree's like, wait.
Yeah, this was awesome. This was my favorite part. I was like, I'm like a tech girl. I love all this engineering stuff. So I'm like, you get in there, girl, and you make that.
Wait, let me just see this. So then the Fergus family is tromping around in the woods, doing whatever, and all of a sudden, Marsley is like, Fergus, it's time, and we're not getting to. There's no time to call Sister Evangeline. We're having this baby right here. We are having this baby right here, right now. I ain't gonna need no Fergus Lamaze for this one, because it's coming right here. I know. There was no Fergus Lamaze. Although I kind of forget if Fergus Lamaze and I don't even know how to describe it.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk about that someday.
Wasn't this? You're getting ahead of yourself.
Okay. Where are we? Yeah, Fergus is gonna have to do the job, which he does. So Claire's getting ready to amputate. Jamie's like, just bury the leg somewhere and never tell me where it is. Claire is like, if you're inclined, she says to Roger, if you're inclined to pray. No, she says it to Ian, because Roger's not there at the point. If you're inclined to pray now would be a good time. And Bree shows up, and she's like, stop the presses. Look. The snake is a marvel of engineering. It's got a venom sac, and it uses its venom sac. The fang is hollow, and it uses the venom sac to squeeze the venom through this. And Claire sees where she's going with this. She's like, you could, it's a syringe. So Bree has already done the work. What?
Can I back up a little bit?
What?
Did you see when they gave Jamie the thing to bite on?
Oh,
I was like, I'm sorry. Do we have some laudanum? What? Why wasn't she like
true.
getting? Why was there no laudanum? There was always laudanum.
Or even whiskey.
There was I was giving him something to bite on.
True. I never really thought of that, and maybe it was because I knew what was going to happen. I knew it wasn't going to happen. But that's really true. This isn't the Civil War. She would have given him a shit ton of laudanum. Is that how you say it? Laudanum. She would have given him a shit ton of laudanum. She would have had him drunk beyond belief. And they would have had to tie him down. They would have needed half the ridge there to hold him down.
He would have been out. She would have given him laudanum. He would have been out. Or he would have been like,
I think actually that, because she's had to do an amputation before, hasn't she?
Oh, I'm sure a million. It's Claire.
I know, but in the past, not in the future.
I'm sure. She's been at war.
Yeah. No, but I guess laudanum would have put you out totally, but I don't know that it would. But she would need people there to make sure that they held him down. She would.
But if she had laudanum, he would be out.
Think about when she repaired his hand in the first season after Blackjack.
Did she have laudanum?
I don't think he was out. He had to bite down on a belt or something, and I think there were a bunch of people that held him down. But I think he was just really, really drunk.
The problem with laudanum was too much. Bye-bye.
Right. But yeah, there was none of that, and I didn't think of that till just now because I knew it was going to happen. I knew she wasn't going to need it. But that's a good point.
Well, I was focusing on all of the little details instead of the possible death.
Yeah. No, I knew there wasn't going to be, so whatever. So all right. So they get the shot, like we said before. They get the shot of the fang going into this big, gaping, disgusting wound. Where I was just like, I don't like that fang is about this thick or this long. You're telling me you couldn't have just at that point pulled it apart a little bit and dumped the penicillin inside there?
It was so gross.
It was disgusting.
You couldn't have found something that you could have used.
It was disgusting.
Yeah, that was weird.
Okay, so next scene, I guess Jamie is feeling better because now Claire is checking out Marcelly and little baby Felicity. And she's totally cute. And Roger is at Jamie's bedside, and he tells Roger tells him that he's on board with dealing with the bonnet problem. He's going to go to Wiley's Landing with Jamie. That was the whole plan. And this is like this is the same thing in the books too. And I always was very confused by this plan, where they're going to meet up at Philip Wiley's dock, and because our meeting has been arranged with Bonnet. I need to go read this part again, but I think I've read this part like 4 times, and I just always find it very confusing for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why. So I guess that may be next week. I don't know. So Jamie and Claire later, they're talking about dying, and this is where he's saying how he saw the light or whatever. And he said not dying was harder because it like made it really. Oh, sorry, we don't need to talk about this.
Talk about it. Go right ahead.
Well, no, he just said that it was a lot easier to that choice would have been a lot easier, but he decided that he wanted to fight. That's why he had Claire touch him. That's where he said he chose to stay because Claire needs him. Well, the Ridge needs him, and she says you made a wise choice. Fade to black. The end.
I will say that our grandfather fell off a ladder, broke his neck or his back, I don't remember which, and was clinically dead. And the doctors told our grandmother that she should just call to him that he's gone, and the only thing you can do now is just call to him. And she called to him, Andy, and finally he came back. And when he was okay enough, they asked him what happened, and he said he saw a field of flowers, and he had this amazing feeling, and he did not want to come back. And that the obligation, when he heard Grandma, the obligation is what made him come back.
How do I not know that story?
I don't know, but I don't know who I heard it from either. I think it was Grandma. I don't think it was Dad.
I totally didn't know that story. That's really weird. It's really weird.
Yep.
So that was it. Yeah, I know. I mean, I know it was another, you were just texting me like, oh my God, I can't take it anymore with the show. Just being too hard. And again, this was a great episode. It was right from the book. Great performances. I will just say that it was. I think I'll like it more on Sunday when I watch it. This week was stressful. Outlander was stressful for me this week. Outlander was stressful for you this week too, I'm sure.
Well,
it was
stressful for you because you couldn't get it.
Right. And I was at the point where I was like, we're not going to get this video made. And just with the rest of the world being the way it is, like, it's just not something that you need. It's just like everything else just sucks so much. Like, and then it's just, so yeah, I mean, again, like long story, very short, we tried to kind of like, we tried to do a fix yesterday that was not working. And so I wasted like an hour and a half last night trying to do something
in my bathroom, virtually in my virtual bathroom.
I basically tried to watch it. Carol and I did a Zoom where she shared her screen, put the show on, but like you just can't do that because there's like no sound base. The audio is terrible, and everything looks like this. Here's what the video looks like. You're not watching.
I'm watching.
So I go and I'm just like, I'm done with this. Whatever. And I go to my husband and I was like, I'm so mad. Like that's a wasted night. Like I can't believe, we tried to do this and it wasn't working and this and that. I don't know what we're going to do. And he's like, so are you going to do your video now? And And it was just so nasty. I was so like, what kind of question is that?
Tracey, you take it out on him. It's not his fault.
No, and I normally would not. But it was just after all of it. It was like, really? Like, you really, like, what do you think? What do you think the answer to that question is? What do you think? But so this episode,
don't do that.
So like,
don't do
this
that
episode
again.
is always going to like be associated with just like trauma and like difficulty in my head.
Did you have any of that hospice stuff happening in your brain?
No, because I couldn't understand what anybody was saying the first time I watched it.
I will say that I was very, very conflicted over that whole situation with, do I want to die because I'm less of a person? And I can't necessarily say that I disagreed with him. I'm not saying I agreed with that. Your instinct is to say, of course you want to live. But I'm just going to share, which I've shared before. When Tom went through everything, the first round, we thought he was going to be okay, but he had surgery that removed his soft palate. He couldn't eat the way other people could eat. And Lord knows the man loved eating and drinking. You know what I mean? His whole life was different. We couldn't go out to dinner anymore because he had to literally think about eating food. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like, that was a part of it. And I'm not saying, oh, well, he couldn't eat and drink well, so of course it's better that he left. But I had a very hard time, as I'm sure a lot of people who watch this, everybody's got their story. Everybody knows people. Everybody's I found it very interesting. I found it very conflicting to watch him questioning whether or not he wanted to not walk this earth, stay alive without the leg.
Right. Well, and also, I mean, think about it like then, now there's so much, I have a friend who went through an illness and had both legs amputated over the like 2 years ago. And this guy has just made a remarkable recovery.
Amazing. Like, does he have prosthetics?
Leads the same, leads, just as active of a life now as he did before.
Awesome. It takes a special person, and it takes a special caregiver, whoever he lives with.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, yes, obviously. But now it's just tons easier to do that, than it is in 1771. It is your livelihood. I mean, Jamie is a soldier and a farmer and a laird, and how's he going to do all that stuff now?
Right.
Like it's
right.
And it's one thing when it happened to Ian, when Ian was still like a relatively young man. Jamie's not anymore. He's 50. Okay, this would essentially like cripple him. Like it would completely, mean the end of. I mean, I don't know. He's sort of a laird, so like, would his income source be removed? Probably not, because he's getting. I don't know if he's still getting like payment from tenants or whatever, but like, it really would change his life forever. It would change his life forever. So I absolutely can understand his feelings and his like, no.
Apprehension.
Yes. Yeah. No, I totally get it.
Wow. Has this conversation changed from the beginning? What? 5 hours ago when we started, when I was like, woo, Durandra death party.
We should check in on the John Krasinski prom.
Oh my God.
I know, right? So I don't even know how long we've been talking here.
A long time. So let's wrap it.
Over 2? No, we have not. We're at 1:42. But yeah, so I liked this episode. It's not my favorite of the season. I mean,
oh my God, Billie Eilish and the Jonas Brothers were there.
Not the Jonas Brothers.
I'm not well, they're fine, Jonas Brothers, but Billie Eilish? You kidding me? How did we get Billie Eilish?
I don't think it was that hard. I think she'd do it. I don't know what she sings, but I don't know.
Billie, is there any better get than Billie Eilish at this point in time?
For the high school crowd, I
Wow.
guess not. Was the brother on there too? Probably, because I think they always do stuff together.
Yeah, I've seen something about Saved by the Bell. You guys, if anybody watch this, fill us in. Fill us in. Guys, this was a weird video, but I hope you had fun with us.
Yes. And, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We forgot to remind you of that.
Put something in the beginning of that.
Subscribe to our...
I'm not above begging.
What?
I said I told them last week, you guys, I'm not above begging. Please subscribe.
Well, people, I mean, I do see that our subscriber number is going up, so that's very good.
Thank you guys who have subscribed too. We can only get bigger and better if we have a lot of subscribers.
Right. So subscribe to us.
Krasinski, who has 2.5 or something. Oh my God, a million.
Who has 2.5?
He has on Instagram. I think the man has like 2.5. I say. John Krasinski.
Oh, well, yeah, of course, because he's just doing like great stuff on it.
Holy cow. Amazing. I love him. I love you. I love you.
So yeah, subscribe to us on YouTube. We are at myoutlanderpurgatory.com. We are on Twitter. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. You can find us anytime. We live tweet the show. I'm sure we will live tweet it on Sunday. Oh, you might not be because it's Keelan's birthday. Maybe Keelan would like to take over the live tweeting.
I don't live tweet too much anymore. I'm just not that good at it. It takes me like 15 minutes to come up with like a funny.
I just steal all the jokes from this video, so.
I know. I'm like, hey, that was mine.
But yeah, so and we only have 3 more to go. We are 3/4 of the way through. Well, no, because now we have to figure out, like, this Corona apocalypse is going well into May, and we're going to need to figure out content to give the people, because the people want what they want.
Give the people what they want.
They want what they want, and
sorry, guys,
we need to give it to them. It's not.
All right.
It's 9:20. Come on.
Tracey. Oh, sorry. I started like getting ready for this and had a couple of these and listened to some Duran Duran and look at hi.
All right. It's
right. I look like a crazy lady. I look like Medusa.
Your hair looks good. It's very beachy. It's very beachy.
I look like. Well, I do live at the beach, but I look like Medusa. You guys. I'm like Jamie,
and I like your color too.
Thanks.
What's your real color? Is it really that dark? Your hair is as dark as mine.
No, it's not as dark as yours. I am dark, and I'm not being like, no, it's not enough. I don't care. But if you look, I can't do it. No one cares. Cut this out. If you look under the light, I have blonde highlights. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't care. Where am I going?
We'll find out. Woohoo!
Where am I going? No, we're not going to find out anything. This is it. There you go. It's just gonna have less blonde. In fact, you guys remind me that I said this because I'm gonna regret it someday. But I have some grays coming in here, and I'm happy. It's like lightening up my roots.
I'm just sad because we ate the last of our Easter bread yesterday, and there's no more Easter bread now. And I once again have to live a life without carbs.
Why?
Because I'm really sad.
Not during Corona apocalypse. I found candy cakes that aren't peanut butter. I'm telling you right now, there's carbs during a Corona apocalypse. Yeah, and you said you're walking every day, right?
No, I'm not walking. That's the other sister. I'm exercising. I'm on my elliptical, but.
Oh, same thing.
I lifted today.
Yeah, I know. Your arms are looking buff. So. I put together. I had my son put together my Total Gym that I ordered 3 months ago when they had a sale at Costco.
All right. I think now we're just scraping the bottom of the barrel, so it's time for us to say goodbye. So follow us on everything. Subscribe to us on YouTube.
Yeah.
Let us
know. We hope that you guys made it through this episode okay.
Yes. Be nice to Sam.
Yes.
Tweet at him to tell him you love him and
Don't
you don't
get
give a
it.
shit about his personal life and you don't want to know.
Creepy.
And don't
Creepy.
F with him or we will come after you.
And here's the secret. This isn't to you guys, because I know you guys know this. He's not Jamie Fraser. Like,
he's just some guy. He's just some guy.
He's an actor.
He's some guy that makes his living acting. This is a job to him. And you know what? Those of you who are the culprits here, you're not going to get him. You're not going to get him past season 6 if you keep this shit up.
Well, is it all right? I got to stop because now I'm like, is this? He said something about blogs and like websites, and I'm like,
you're like, did we say something about him? No, I will say this, however. I will say that we still have free reign to continuously mock the season 4 wig for eternity. Sorry, Sam, that ain't never gonna end.
And Sam,
that's comedy gold.
If it makes you feel better, Kristen Stewart's wigs in Eclipse will always be mocked more than the wig they made you wear in season 4.
All right, you guys, have a great week. We will chat with you on Sunday, although again, you will have already seen us chat with you on Sunday by the time you're watching this. But we will certainly see you next week for episode 510 of Outlander. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon.
It's Laura here from Love Island. I just wanted to wish you a massive happy 18th birthday, and I know you're sad you don't have your prom or your graduation, but hopefully you can have a nice time with your mum and Ian and it'll be a special day anyway. So lots of love.